Kutsishin, and you know him more than you think you know him. You think, I don't really recognize him. That's because he's behind the scenes making it all great, especially right now.
Oh,
Everybody, give me
yes.
a thumbs up if you think that there's more refis coming or you're already getting some right now, huh? There we go. That's right. We've been waiting 2 years, really 2.5 years to get some refis. And because of the tool that Alex created called Sales Boomerang, we're getting those triggers so you know how not to lose your clients. And we got three this morning, Alex. It was awesome. And I got to hit up my team and say, make sure you don't miss out on this. And it reminds our team to make sure they call out. And they're saving deals because of it. So thank you for creating Sales
Yes,
Boomerang, which
sir.
is now part of Trust Engine with Dave
Yep.
Savage, my other bro. You guys do good shit, man. And that's a
Yeah,
technical
it's
term.
been fun. That is the technical term. You know,
Yes.
when somebody hops on a call with me, I start by saying, first of all, you should know we do cool shit. Okay. Now,
Right.
what what are the revenue challenges or culture challenges you're having? Yes.
Well,
So glad to be here. Thank you so much. Seriously, like your team, your just like the community that you've built. And I've told you this before. I want to say it again in front of your audience and your team here because I mean, I've said it to you in private. Being in Vegas, this is my first time attending one of these events. It was like the best event I've ever seen, and it's you and it's the community. The audience showed up to the very last presentation of the day in Vegas, and it was packed. I have video of it, packed. Standing room only,
thank
the last one. So I just wanted to say you're doing something really special with this community.
Well, it's a shout out to our community, those that
Yeah,
really
it
want
is.
to improve their personal and professional lives, that they showed up and they continue to show up and they engaged and they showed up early, they showed up after breaks, and they showed up at the end. So you don't see that in a lot of events. I went to another
No,
event. I won't say the name because they're friends of mine, but half the people weren't there during the event. It was really sad. They were either at the
it's sad.
pool or they were gambling or who knows what. And it was unfortunate, but our community digs in. They want to get better. And it's people
I
like
know
you
it.
that bring the value. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make sure that we bring the value because we got a
Yeah.
playbook because everyone wants to be
Ooh.
more successful.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex helps with that. He walks the walk. And that is without a
Mm-hmm.
doubt. I get the pleasure of shoot, I get to almost talk to you weekly now, which is
Yeah.
a blessing. You've been a blessing in
I
our
got you.
lives. And we want this to be interactive, crew. So make sure that you interact with the reactions, the little heart button there. Hit that, and let's see some reactions because it kind of lets us know you're listening to us, what you like, what you think is funny, what you want to hear more about, or ask your questions. This is interactive. That's the
Right.
beautiful thing about this. Some people go, oh, a lot of these guys will only do like webinars if there's 200 people or something on it, but then it's only once in a blue moon. We do this every single week, and we bring the best of the best, like Alex. And Alex, what are you going to share with us today so our group that's on knows why they need to stay on this call?
Yeah, this is great. Thank you. And I see a couple more keep joining, so keep them coming. Send out those texts and emails. Let people join. I mean, look, I think we should keep the conversation rather light, but hyper focused in an area where most of us find it challenging to sustain, which is consistent performance improvement. Consistent performance improvement. And I
Right?
want to challenge some paradigms. I want to challenge any of you that continue to build yourself, your business, your team around the concept of Pareto's principle. I want to shatter that, okay? I also want to shatter beliefs and ideas of what software and technology partnerships can look like and what they can be. I want to shatter the concept of forced performance improvement versus autonomous and freedom based performance improvement. Okay. And everything I'm sharing with you has been proven over and over and over again and works in more than one industry consistently for over 100 years. And so, I'd like to really just have a real deep conversation about what it means to have stars in every position and to treat yourself like one of those stars and to constantly improve, and why the 33rd most valuable company in the world is an entertainment company, and
Oh,
how
wow.
they did it. Oh yeah, yeah, and how they did it, and just have a deep debate. I'd love people in chat to talk about this because, again, shattering another concept that it's hard to improve yourself or your team, or it's hard to have a team of consistent performance. It's just false.
And that's a good point. As a leader, as you are, we have an amazing team. A lot of them are on here. We're very proud of our team because they do lean in. And what's nice is by you being part of this call today and following more momentum and paying attention to other leaders, it helps you build momentum, but also maintain it. The hard thing is
Hmm.
maintain it. That consistency you're mentioning is
Yes.
almost impossible in sales because you have your ups and downs, you have your good days, your bad days, you have your wins and your losses. A lot of my team members, a lot of people, we have to deal with losses because of uncontrollables right now. That's what's really challenging because you can be
Back to
the
the
best
song.
of the best. Yeah, right. Uncontrollable, as we were teeing up in the song by Teddy Swim. It's it's just hard because I even have to pay therapists at times. Our team will be like, Don, I'm just getting my teeth kicked in, and I feel I'm doing a great job. And then you have your good days though, where you're like, I crushed today. I got 3 new loans in and everybody's happy. How do we stay consistent? And I
Yeah.
think it helps to have multiple facets because I know my team, I'll be honest, you're on a lot of them on this call, get tired of hearing from Gino and I because it's like, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, you guys are all positive, you're blah, blah, blow smoke up our butts. But we try our best to help support and find out how we can help and ask what the challenges are. But there are others that you can reach out to or learn from to kind of keep your motivation. Am I right?
Uh, well, 100%. I mean, first of all, it all starts with looking inwards. Okay. All right. It starts with looking inwards. I'm going to give you an example. Um, the industry that we like to talk about a lot that has proven to be the most successful in performance and culture in over 100 years, and that's the professional sports industry. Okay. In professional sports, there's no mistake. There's no running back that's like, man, I should have been an accountant. Okay.
Right?
Uh,
Never.
It's funny. You can all laugh a little bit, but think about that for a second. There's no quarterback out there going, oh my gosh, I should have been a lawyer. What the heck am I doing? Right? They're not doing that. They looked inside and they said, this is what I'm choosing to do. Why do you choose to do this? Because I am good at it. By the way, let's stop here for a second. All of us parents and everyone out there that motivates young men and women and kids and the future generation, I'm guilty of this too. I used to say forever, do what you love, and now I say, do what you're good at, and you will fall in love with it. Okay, do what you're good at. So my point is, it's a little segue, a little bridge to why do you do this, quarterback? Because I'm really good at it. Besides me liking it, I'm really good at it. Okay. Do you want to do it at a competitive level? Yes, I do. Fantastic. How are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to train. How often? Every day. Really? Yes. Because I chose to be in a competitive industry like this. So I have to stay competitive. Okay. One of my favorite things to talk about, hopefully this will ring some bells for people, is I like to talk to CEOs and I say, hey, when you told me that you wanted your sales team to improve, to get better, better than who? Like, well, I just want them to do better. I want the numbers to get better. Okay, fine. But better than who? Better means it's a comparison to something. Oh, better than my competitors. So you're in a competition. Well, of course we're in a competition. Does your team know that? Does your team know that you are in a daily competition? Thank you for that. Oh, exactly. If you don't know you're in a daily competition, this is a reminder for you. Okay? And so why did, and I'll share my screen here for just a second. So why did, and we're going to get back to what does it mean looking on the inside. It's all coming together right now, I promise. I'm going to stitch this whole thing together. Why did Patty McCord, in what is known as the most important document to ever come out of the Valley, say that a company is like a pro sports team where managers are good coaches, and the goal, here's the looking inward, and the goal is to field stars in every position. Every, not just 20% of you or your team should be stars, but stars in every position. Okay, so let's come back to the original question. How do we motivate ourselves, inspire ourselves to do the thing we chose to do? So the first thing you ask yourself is, am I doing my best? I'm not even kidding, everyone. I'm not even kidding. It's a simple question, but I'm absolutely serious. Am I doing my best? You ask yourself, put up a mirror if you want. Am I doing my best? And if the answer is yes, good for you. Good for you. But what are you producing? Is your best producing a number, a result that you and the company and your team is happy with? If the answer is no, that's okay. This is the thing. This is the thing. It's okay. But it's time to choose another sport to play. Because if this is your best and you're not where you want to be, that's okay. Why? There is a great book by John Murphy who actually has a course in Fuel. Don't send a duck to Eagle School. It's all in the title. We don't even need to get into the details of the book.
I know that book. I've heard
you know that book?
Yeah.
John Murphy. He has an incredible course, by the way. A remarkable course in the platform. Is another one coming out on creative problem solving. Every leader in Fuel has watched it. It is just incredible. It's just incredible. I was just watching it while I was shaving right before this call. That's one of my things I do when I shave now. I just fuel up.
Well, that's why you got that clean cut look.
That's why I got that clean cut look. Yeah. The barber didn't do this. This is Alex.
He did that for all of you.
I did 100%. Thank you. Yes, and I got a round of applause. I like this. Okay, so in all reality, this is the truth. Like, we're talking about performance. Okay, the reason I'm here and with Fuel. Okay, what did Sales Boomerang do? Sales Boomerang said, "Hey, lenders, you don't have to guess anymore when people have value in your database. You should know borrower intelligence. Now, borrower intelligence is in every lending institution in the United States. Is it a Sales Boomerang borrower intelligence platform? No, it could be something else. But there isn't a bank in the world, and I'm sorry, not in the world, in the country that doesn't have it in their business now. Okay, we're talking about shattering this concept of performance improvement. And is it for everyone? Well, it is for everyone, but can everyone accomplish it? Yes, you can, but not in every sport. I'm 5'5". If I tried to accomplish being a center in the NBA, I would fail no matter what performance improvement tools I used. I would not be a great center. Yes, see, I was waiting for a couple of laughs. It's the truth. And so here's the thing. You have to start with looking inwards. Hey, quarterback, why are you a quarterback? I'm really good at it, and I love it. How hard are you going to work? I'm going to work as hard as possible because I'm in this space. Great. Ask yourself the same question. Why are you here? What made you want to do this? Are you doing your best? Yes, I'm doing my best. Are you crushing everything? Yeah, great, fantastic. Keep on the same road. Let's go. Show others. As a matter of fact, if you're doing that great, the best thing you can do is show others around you how you're doing it and bring more people up. Don't separate yourself from them. Don't be excited to be part of the 20%. But I'm one of the 20%. No. Spartans. If you ask a Spartan, which you can't now, but if you ask a Spartan where their strength comes from, they won't be like, comes from me. It comes from the person to my left and the person to my right. The strength is in your team. Even though you're in an environment, in an industry where you're literally competing against somebody that's sitting next to you, but you shouldn't go about it that way. You are part of a team. You're part of a brand. You wear a moniker. If you don't believe in it, go find another logo to wear, right? But if you believe in it, then if you're one of those 20%ers, grab people, pull them up. It's more fun up here together, I promise you. So,
like that saying, stronger together.
Stronger together. It's the truth. But it starts truly right here. It starts within every person to be like, am I where I am meant to be? Again, Patrick Mahomes is not thinking like, should have ran for president, right? No, he knows where he's at. Yeah, maybe. But in reality, right? It is too easy. But in reality, you may have to ask yourself that first. You want your personal performance to improve. You just got to make sure you're in the right place, because you don't have to convince Paul McCartney to write a song. You do not have to be like, hey, You're gonna get in there and get creative today? No, he's like, I cannot wait to write a song because he knows who he is and he knows where he is. That's why he's doing what he's doing. So that's number one. And if you are in the right place and you're like, think I'm doing my best, but I look around me and there's so much room. What can I do to improve? Now that is the best question you can ask yourself. That is the best question you can. What can I do to improve marginally? Do not be fooled by those amazing producers who have like you can't get mad at LeBron. He's just born with something too, right? You're someone that's practicing nonstop, and LeBron just walks right by you. He's like, I'm just gonna go ahead and win every game now, right? But guess what? The person that practices, they have a reason to practice. Like, I will beat LeBron. He may have a natural talent. I have to work on it, but that's what I chose to do. I chose to do this, so I'm going to choose to become great. Okay? So, the only reason you can't reach next levels is either you're playing the wrong game, or you're just not choosing to grow. And the point I was going to make about don't try to grow too fast, marginal gains, marginal gains. It is scientifically proven. Okay? You don't need to bite the whole apple. You don't need to do that. Little bites, 1% better a day, 1% better a week. You may have heard this from a million places, but I'm telling you right now, it is a fact. It is a fact. Little bit of growth every single day, and you look back and you will not believe where you started and where you are.
It's funny you mentioned that. I love that because those of us who have improved, we know it has to be slow improvements. But the other thing is that I'm learning, and I've been in the industry 37 years. I've and you probably know that my main sport is motocross. And after
Mm-hmm.
almost 60 years of racing professionally, I hired a coach for a big race that's coming up, the Vet World Championships. And
Mm.
he's teaching me something that we all can learn from, because what's really funny is all I'm thinking is I have to go faster. I have to help me go faster so I can compete against my competitors. And he's really good. Like, he's one of the best in the industry. It has been for 30,
Mm.
40 years. He's just a freaking ager.
Mm.
So he followed me and is training me. And I'm like, so you think you can help me out to get faster? And he goes, well, yes. He goes, absolutely. He goes, but what I'm going to teach you first is how to go slow to go fast. And it's
Mm.
a weird concept because all we want to do is produce more, produce more, produce more. But sometimes it's changing how you do things so that you can go faster. And that's what he's teaching
Mm.
me. Like, how, believe it or not, he's teaching me how to go slower into the turn so I can go further in the turn, and slower out so I'm in control and I save energy at the same time so I don't get tired at the end of the moto. And it's a weird concept. At first, it was really hard, but over time, I didn't even feel like I was going faster. But my lap times have gone down 8 seconds a lap because of this transition that he taught me. And a lot of us have to rethink our business model.
You're breaking up real
Yeah,
bad, Don. Just a heads up.
I see that. Yeah, make sure
Yeah.
to read. My Wi-Fi went bad all of a sudden.
You're, yeah. Well, when you're hanging out at
Good.
San
Got out of
Francisco
my.
Bridge, the Wi-Fi can go out.
One sec. Yeah. Oh,
um,
bad.
so, while I think what you were
One
getting
sec.
at, it's all good. I think what Don was getting at is it really is about slowing down to speed up. And actually, I have a book here. If I could find the acronym, there's a little book that actually says that somewhere in here. Slow down to go faster. If I find it before the end of the call, I'll show it to you. But it's true. I'm a big chess player, and when you look at grandmasters, they don't just move pieces to move them. They move them very strategically, but that means they slow down to think, and then they move them. And young, hungry, ambitious chess players just jump into the move without consideration. So it's a very very similar thing. Do we have you back, Don?
Working on
Okay. Well, let me keep going. Let me keep going. And by the way, we have a chat. So if you got a question,
Fine.
ask a question. Oh, sorry. Don, I don't know. I don't know if you're trying to talk or not, but if you were, we could not hear you. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep going because remember, and my purpose here with you all is we're talking about performance and personal development improvement. That's what fuel is about, right? Fuel is a performance as a service platform, but for whom? For you. It's the Netflix of personal and career development, or some people call it the Peloton of personal and career development. And it's all about that practice, right? It's all about that marginal gain. And it's also about what we've discovered from sports. So while Don is trying to connect, I dare anyone here to challenge, okay, this will be a fun, possibly vocal debate with everyone if anyone disagrees, that professional sports is not the best performance and culture model, which, by the way, you can also add the military in there. Very, very strong performance culture model there. And even musicians and music, very strong performance and culture model. But professional sports has really perfected it. And I want you all for a second to just, in your heads, if you're saying this, stop saying this. If you're saying, Alex, athletes get paid millions of dollars, no wonder they do so well. If you're saying that, stop, okay? Because I can give you many, many examples where that's just simply not true. Why don't I do that for a second? Go back to the 1950s and 60s. Were people being paid millions of dollars? No. You can keep moving up. 60s, 70s, professional athletes were not just retiring off of playing. They had sometimes jobs, multiple jobs they were doing and playing sports. Forget about going back in time. Let's go to 2024. This year, how many athletes in the Olympics got paid good money to perform the way they performed? Very few. Most of them had the American flag, right? Otherwise, very few. And so professional sports has really found something special about performance and culture because it's a combination. It's not just one thing. It's performance and culture. And you, for yourself and for your team, you want performance and culture. You don't want just people to grind and hate themselves and make everyone around them pissed off, right? We can give examples in sports, actually, right? Like if we stay in NFL for just a second, Owings, oh man, I'm going to forget his name now. Owens. Somebody help me out in chat. Great receiver, horrible attitude, bounced around, gone, right? Is it Terrell Owens? I can't remember. Maybe somebody can remember. So you don't want just someone's performance. You want someone to be a part of the team and have a performance mindset. Okay, so how did sports do it? Many of you, thank you, Terrell Owens. Thank you. Yeah, him. Terrible attitude, incredible skills. That's why he kept bouncing around, right? And then he's gone. So you want someone that is a great performer. Yep, that's the guy. That's the dude. He's great, but he's not great in the team environment. He's all about making Terrell look great, right? He's the one that started all those amazing end zone celebrations. So we got to love him for that. But what makes professional sports so special? Why is it that consistently we're breaking world records? The person that played, I'll just stay in the NFL for this conversation. The person that played linebacker in 1950s in NFL could not make the team in 2024. Could not even make the team in 24. Okay? Why is that? What happened? Baseline, performance standards. That's it. What makes professional sports so special is performance standards. You don't see that in high school sports, right? That's why we don't pay hundreds of dollars to watch high school sports, because there's no standards. College starts to get better. And then professional sports is just the most exciting and entertaining thing to watch. Although college, of course, is very entertaining as well, but it's organized and it's professional as well. So what makes it special? Number one is that baseline, that performance standards that is so often missing. We think we have it, but we don't have it, okay? And that's where businesses can really make a difference. So number one, that's what makes sports better. The second thing that makes sports so successful, and by the way, everyone here has pointed to sports, right? And said, hey, if we could do some of that, like businesses for decades have been pointing to sports and saying, look how they do this, look how they all work together, look at the play, blah, 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 blah. But we don't adopt the way sports are built and managed, which we should, which is what Fuel is doing. Fuel is making it very easy to adopt it and make it possible. Okay, so let's reveal the second thing. The second thing is actually the thing that's most surprising to everyone. Autonomy versus force. Autonomy versus accountability. Everyone here may believe that the reason pro athletes perform at the levels they perform consistently, and they don't have a 80-20 rule, right? 95% of the team does 100% of the work. That's it. You're not on it if you can't do it. Accountability is to the franchise, to the owners, to the team, to the players, to the fans, your coaches. That's where your accountability is. The rest is autonomy. If you stick a GoPro on the chest of every player that walks away from practice every single day, you'll find that they all eat differently, go to sleep differently, work out differently, have a mindset routine that's different, have psychiatrists they see that are different, have physical therapists they see that are different, chiropractors they see that are different. But when they all show up, they show up as the best versions of themselves. And guess what? I am lucky enough to live next to a 12-year NFL coach. He's a defensive coordinator for the NFL for 12 years. And I asked him, his name is Robert. I said, Robert, how important is autonomy to the success of your team? His answer was, it's everything. It's everything. You can't do it for them anyway. And so you want them to come in and show you that they want to do it for themselves. And if they want to do it for themselves, oh my goodness, you will prop them up, you will support them. But if they show up as slobs and don't want to do it for themselves, there's no place for them on a team. And so professional sports is about autonomy. What are you doing on your own? How are you improving yourself? How are you becoming better and better every day? Not for Don, not for PRMG, but for you, simply you. And that's all Don wants too. I can promise you that. The best teams are led by people who want you to be the best version of you. It just so happens you're a part of our team. But if you grow and evolve and somehow outgrow this team or find another passion, it's not like Don or Gina are going to be like, what? How dare that person go do the thing they're really good at and love? That's messed up. They should be here working, grinding, right? No, it's the opposite. Right, Don?
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
My computer went nuts and I had to go to a different Wi-Fi evidently.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. So the most important thing, if you want to see, I'm talking about staggering improvements. Okay, focus on each individual. Do not set team goals. Set only individual goals. Why? I'll tell you another reason why. Let's say you set a goal to grow 20% and you got somebody there that's just like crushing it. The team grew 20%, but they're because of one person. But if you make each individual grow their own growth that they can attain, the team won't grow by 20%. They could grow by 120% because each individual grows at their own level instead of setting a team goal. Incredibly important. Incredibly important. That is another reason professional sports are so good. They're not saying, hey, team. They're like, how are you each going to perform? Stars in every position. Okay? So, how can you feed yourself? Don, I know you're giving your team access to a performance improvement library that's consistently growing. That is just one outlet, right? Fuel is about performance improvement and performance training. Audible is about knowledge growth and learning growth. Podcasts are about knowledge growth, information gathering, being in the know, okay? Masterclass, information gathering, being in the know. Online courses, knowledge gathering, improving your knowledge. Fuel wants to improve your performance. Your knowledge will improve. You're going to learn a lot, but it's about improving your performance. And so you want to start thinking about that as well, because the world is in a debate. Do we need more information for our kids and ourselves? Do we people need more info, or do we need to know how to apply what we know better? have a better outlet to be able to practice the things we know to make sure. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And so, how do you improve performance? You practice. That's it. There's not a secret. Like that's Don. This is what I've been trying to tell people. People think it's so complicated. Like this is going to be hard. I mean, I got to improve. No, it's easy, especially when you have a binge-worthy platform that's just fun. It's just fun. It's not like hard to learn. It's not, I have a lot of things to try to implement. I got to try to figure this out. No, turning on Netflix. So before you go on LinkedIn, get 5 minutes of fuel. While you're drinking your coffee, get 5 minutes of fuel. I have a veteran right now, a military vet. I don't know if anyone saw our LinkedIn post. So we have a thing going that's called Heroes, Fuel for Heroes. So anyone that's a veteran, by the way, anyone that's a veteran, Don, you should know, has a free license in fuel.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very
Who
cool.
else? Who better to support than the people that support this entire country?
Right.
So we want them to be the best versions of themselves, and they get free access. Well, why do I share this? The first platoon that got on, a military vet just retired, Melvin. He wrote this amazing letter, basically saying, "Look, this is so helpful. We're leaving a military career to a place where we could maybe make no income, and you are helping." What? I froze too. What the heck is going
Yeah. I'm like moving my head. Is it me? I think I'm not frozen.
on? And so he's like this is so I mean, you can find it on LinkedIn. I can share my screen if you want, and I can show it to you. Anyway, he said this is something that there's so much support. We get no support like this. This is incredible. I feel like I have tutors in my pocket. The next day, he writes another email. He said, "Me and my wife and my child are watching these together. Thank you so much. It's helping all of us." And I said to him, I said, "Melvin, why don't I set up an account for your child and your wife so they have their own accounts?" And he says, "No, we'd rather, this is a family of activity. Before we watch Disney, we now watch a little bit of Fuel, get a little bit of knowledge and training, and then we watch Disney." I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yes, I do not want accounts for them. I want us to do it together." I mean, like you just want to sit there and ball out for this. And so it really is the where we're headed now. It really is about performance improvement and not just knowledge
What I like
gathering.
about this is one, I love the sharing, but what's really cool is like I'm a like you, avid, my team knows. I go through probably 2 dozen books a year through Audible, and I'm always like taking
Don, I'm
in.
listening. I'm just going to turn off my video. Something weird is going on. I'll be right back. I'm here. I'm listening. I just want you to know I'm not
Okay.
like, I didn't like leave. Go ahead.
So the point was is, I go and listen to a new book while I'm working out, and I love the book, and I refer it to some of my friends and coworkers and all so forth. The hard thing is I don't know how many of them actually will go through a whole book or take the time to go through a book. Some do. But what's nice about the fuel thing is if you have a segment or a speaker or a coach or somebody that motivates or inspires or trains you, it's easy because you can say, "Hey, check this out." And it's literally minutes. Like I know that they'll actually like, "Hey, even if I gave it as a task, I want all of you guys to have this, watch these 2 segments before we go to our next meeting because I think it's meaningful. We'll talk about it." But they can do it in minutes. And then I
Oh,
like
so
the
good.
big, so it's easier because then I don't feel like I'm asking them to go through a 6.5, 8 hour book. Very difficult for some. Where this is like, "Hey, listen to these 2 things. It'll take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is. Follow the action steps." Because what's cool, that's different, because I have this problem. I'll read a book, get all inspired, but did I take action from that book or did I just go to the next book? What I love about Fuel is that you give simple, immediate action steps that are not hard. It just basically, once you go through the little, 2 to 3 minute segment, 5 minute segment, then it goes, "Tell me about this and how we can approach this." Oh, easy to answer. Next segment goes a little deeper. Here's your answer. Goes a little deeper. And before you know it, in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you also have something that's been troubling you, challenging you, whatever. You're taking action to rectify it, and it frees your mind and allows you to go to the next level. Those little bites you talked about.
Yes.
That's what's brilliant about it. I really love that.
Yeah, I'm going to put a link in here in case somebody wants to see it if they're not sure what did I just put E?
Yeah, you guys are really
Okay.
tricky. Good luck on
Yeah,
that.
that was weird. Yeah, that was weird. So what's interesting is you're bringing up such an important point. Just yesterday, I was talking to Gerhard, who's the founder and CEO of Selling Power. You know, one of the most inspirational and successful speakers. And thank you, Sonia. And we were talking exactly about this, books. He's like, Alex, I read books all the time. I write books. I read books. And I often am inspired by a memory of a part of a book. And I'm like, man, I should go and read that part of the book. And he goes, but I never do it because I have to find it. I have to listen through hours to discover that one area. And he's like, I just don't do it unless I'm ready to reread the whole book. And I go, I'm just going to read this book again. He's like, I said to him, I said, Gerhard, oh my gosh, I have the same thing. There's parts of books where I'm just like, oh man, I love that. And I'll even go in Audible into my bookmarks. I'm like, I have so many bookmarks. I don't remember which one of these it was. And I just don't get to it. And so exactly what you said, it's like, hey, it's 5 minutes. Like it's actually to the heart of what you want to share rather than somewhere in here is the thing I want you to learn. It's like, here's the exact thing that I want you to learn. And so let me ask you a question, Don. Would it be okay to maybe show a lesson here? It's a really cool one that I think would help
No,
everyone.
you should because it's unique. All of us, like I said, we know an Audible, we see podcasts, we see YouTube channels and stuff like that. And what's cool is these are addicting because it was so easy to just listen to, short and sweet, because we have no attention span anymore. That's the other challenge we all have
That's
is
exactly
our
right.
attention span is 6 seconds or whatever it is now to catch somebody's attention.
Fading
But
quick.
yes. And so the idea of getting somebody to, like, I'll even share something that's 15 to 20 minutes. Did you get through all of it? It's really difficult, but these you get through really quick. And then if you want to go on to the next steps, you just hit, continue. And it was really good.
Yes.
Very simple. So yes, please
Yeah.
share.
Share. Okay. I'm going to do that right now. And Troy, we'll get you a shirt. We'll get you a shirt. So everyone can see this. I want to make sure everyone can hear it. So, and I have it at 1.25 speed. So even though it's only 4 minutes and 46 seconds, I'll just, you got it, Troy. I'll just keep it at 1.25. Just, it makes it more interesting. I mean, easier, gets through it. But if anyone just put into the message like, hey, Alex, a little too fast for me, and I'll slow it down. So this is Brian Byro. He is one of the most successful authors. He has a program that he's done worldwide called Breakthrough. So if you've ever seen the guy that makes you break the board, he's the one that started that. That's Brian. Just like Breakthrough. That's his whole program. So you break through. And so he has 3 courses. He's incredible. I mean, he came in ready to roll. He has 3 courses in the platform already. This is the #1 course in the platform today. This Ignite Breakthrough Energy, igniting your team and yourself. Okay. This particular course is the principle of exaggeration. This is going to help each and every one of you that is either trying to help themselves or trying to help someone else make a breakthrough. Watch this.
Welcome back. I missed you. Welcome to Breakthrough Energy.
Could you hear that? I want to make sure that I don't go too far without you. You can. Okay, great.
Igniting your team and yourself. We've learned a lot of things about energy so far. Number 1, the foundation, energy is a choice. It's not like the weather. We've learned about why energy is so important. That starts with understanding the woo, the window of opportunity. Keep saying woo, it's a fun word, it's an energizing word. The window of opportunity, which is every precious moment. You only break through when you seize the woo, and energy helps you seize more woos. We've learned that to everyone you touch, everyone you care about, your energy is your example. The people won't remember that much of what you say, but they'll never forget your energy. And we started on our ETP to take this into the realm of real breakthrough. Because when you hear, you forget. When you see, you remember. When you do, you understand. And the ETP is your chance to really create a whole new level of energy in your life. An energy transformation program. And what we've learned is to use that 10-point energy scale. Hope you've been checking it every single day at the end of your day and honestly measuring yourself. Where did I live on that 10-point scale? As that number rises, you will rise with it. You will move from okay to oh yeah. Today, we're going to add an application, a tool to help you take it to a whole different level. In our last session, we learned that the first secret to elevating your energy by choice instead of chance is to change the way you move. If you want to move your life, you got to move yourself. But to do that, sometimes we have to apply something that I call the principle of exaggeration. It's something that I coined that phrase when I was a swimming coach. And when I was a swimming coach, I had many swimmers who swam like
And by the way, not just a swimming coach for like elementary school, high school, Olympic swimmers. Okay, like this is the guy for coaching swim. Like one of the guys. Look him up. He's incredible. And this lesson. So if you weren't paying attention, pay attention now. This is so cool.
like this. They had high elbows. Now that's good in swimming. You want to have what's called a relaxed recovery. But some of the swimmers got in the habit of pulling with a wide arm carriage in relation to their body line. That's not good in swimming, because where you want to pull is under the center line of your body where you have maximum power and at maximum balance. But if I said to a swimmer who I can clearly see is swimming way out here, and I said to that swimmer, pull down the center line of your body, just like I may say to you, you're living at level 5 on the 10-point scale. If I said to them, you pull down the center line of your body, guess what they answered back to me? They never said, I can't. What did they say? They always said, I am.
Okay, stop right there for a second. This is such a good lesson. Listen to how he breaks through this. This is such a simply brilliant lesson. When you tell somebody, hey, you got to pull into your belly. I am. How do you go against that? They think they are. So how many times have you coached someone about something you want them to improve on? They go, I am doing it that way.
That's
what I'm doing. I am. Oh, honestly, if nothing else, that alone, this one thing alone, just sit back and just think how many times you've tried to help someone and they just go, I am. Or you said to someone, I am. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, do you have you want something to say, Don? Sorry, I see your hand up. No? Okay. Let's keep listening.
Because what felt normal felt good. They want to do it right, and they think they're doing it. So did it do me any good as a coach to say to that swimmer who I can clearly see is way out here, pull down the center line of your body? No, it did me harm because they already think they are. In fact, they think, what's wrong with coach? Does he need glasses? He can't see. How could I help him? Or how could I help myself if I want to break through? I have to apply the principle of exaggeration. And I did it hundreds of times. I would say to that swimmer who's swimming way out here, when your right hand hits the water, I want you to pull it as far across your body to your left as you can, way over there. With your left hand, pull it way over there. Now, as soon as I say to a swimmer who's pulling way out here to pull down the center line, pull way over there, guess where they pull? Right down the center. How does it feel? Totally weird. And that's exactly how I want them to feel.
Okay, hold on. That right there, let's pause that too. How does that feel? Totally weird. That's exactly how I want you to feel. That's exactly how I want you to feel. So think about this. If you're ever coaching someone or you're being coached and it feels comfortable, you're not growing. You're changing nothing. Nothing is happening.
Remember, I was mentioning my coach teaching me how to go slower and different. I'm like, it was weird. It was absolutely weird. But
absolutely weird.
But the results are there, even though like it is weird, without a doubt.
I'm telling you, this lesson alone, oh my gosh, this changes for yourself and for others. The minute you find yourself going, I'm really trying, but it's not hard. Shoot, I'm not doing enough. If it's not hard, if you're trying to get to the next level, but you're like, this is easy. You're not getting to the next level. It's not happening. There needs to be something uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be bad, just uncomfortable.
Because unless it feels different, they won't break through. Where do you want to apply that more than anywhere in your life if you want to break through? To your energy. All right, so that's why we're doing these fun things in the ETP. Never sit at a computer for more than 30 minutes without moving radically for 10 seconds. When you do a Zoom call, never again leave your video off. It's not about just seeing your team, it's looking at you, what kind of energy you're bringing to that team and elevate it. And to break through in terms of your energy, I want you to really commit to an area of your life where you're going to increase your movement. Whether that means 5 more minutes per day in the first week of energy, of movement, whether it's running, walking, doing some sort of physical exercise. So at the end of that week, you've done 35 minutes more movement that week than you had previously. 5 more minutes the next week. That means you're up to 1 hour and 10 minutes for 2 weeks. By the end of the 30 days, you're up to 2 hours and 20 minutes of more movement. Will it be adding those 5 more minutes? Will it be living with that commitment to no longer sit in front of your computer for more than 30 minutes without getting up and having some fun? Will it be just a commitment?
I've made that commitment. After this lesson, I do not sit in front of my computer for more than 30 minutes, unless like this, like we're having, I can't not move away from this. But the minute we hang up, I'm walking around. I'm standing. I'm definitely, I can move around.
As I said, you live this,
smile.
Alex. Energy, energy.
I'm telling you right now, that's all that's left after you're gone. And I mean that in more ways than one. You leave a sales call, all that's left is your energy. Because remember, in retaining information, only 5% of what you hear you retain. So every salesperson on the call, when you're on a sales call, after you hang up, they only remember 5% of what you said, but they will not forget this. So how do you show up? How do you show up? And by the way, the minute you show up a little bit happier, a little bit more confident in your life, you will show up more confident in your work life. So it's you first.
Show them this probably has action steps, right?
It's right there. It's coming up. It's right there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I want them to see
Yep.
how simple it is.
Yep. Yep.
More than you've been smiling, to create that electronic energy that comes from a smile. Remember, change the way you move and you'll change the way you live.
All right, so here's the performance test. How will you commit to increasing your movement? This is it. This is it. But this isn't testing you for knowledge. This is saying, hey, how will you apply what you just learned? Instead of saying, did you get it? Hey, what did O'Brien say about moving? I should move 5 minutes more. Good job. Who cares? How are you going to apply it? Who cares if you've learned something? If it just goes in your back pocket and one day you're doing trivia and you're like, I'm so glad I did that 6 years ago. Great. How are you going to apply what you're learning now? And so, hey, leaders, Don, talking to you and others if they're on the phone. Gino, I think Gino's here. Gino, is Gino here or no?
No, he's not.
No? Okay.
He couldn't make it. We had a divide and conquer today.
All good. Don, Gino, they're leaders. Maybe there's some other leaders on the call as well. When you have something like fuel, it's hard to do it outside of fuel, but it's possible. When you have something like fuel and one of your team members completes this lesson, because you get notified as a leader, somebody completed a lesson, right? Because this is team. In professional sports, who sees you practice? Your coach, so he can help you adjust for the game. So when you're doing this, who can help you get better at this thing that you're talking about? Who can keep you accountable? Ultimate accountability right here. As soon as you see someone finish a lesson, you go take the same lesson for one and one reason only. You are here to make that person the best version of themselves. That's all leaders have to focus on their entire life, nothing else. They don't need to worry about any number, nothing. Just worry about making each person on your team better. So the minute you get in there, you watch it, you get with this person, say, hey, I took the same thing, it was pretty cool. What did you write, by the way? I wrote this. Really cool. How are you going to implement it? Oh, well, I already did my 5 minutes of movement today. How about you, Don? Right? And so the beauty of this is like you have a learning allowance, access to a library with smart books. These are smart books that allow your team to engage with you to support your personal development, to support it, not to force it, to support it, right? So anyway, this is just an example of it. The library keeps growing. And truly, we want to disrupt, shatter, break all of these concepts of training has to be for 8 hours straight without breaks, and it can only be one track, and there's only one way to think. And no, it's not true. We are all, as a matter of fact, completely different. We should never learn the same way, the same things. Never. That's a harsh word. It is far more valuable for us to learn the way we are wired to learn, to do the way we are wired to do. And so this is that kind of autonomy that you can give yourself, and don't stop doing those other things, of course, but most other things in the world today are about learning and knowledge gathering. We're saying, great, that's wonderful. 99.9% of things are out there for that. Fuel is here for performance improvement, right? And culture and positivity. There's not one lesson you'll take that isn't going to make you smile and feel good about you. So
that's beautiful. And what's nice too, Alex, and I hope everybody pays attention, your library keeps growing, but it's already pretty robust, meaning you don't know what you don't know. So I'll get in like waves of learning a certain thing where I'm missing out on potentially other things that can help expand my knowledge and expertise or sales skills, whatever that I can share with my team. What's nice here is you can dive around and try different things and see what one speaks to you, but also you're like, wow, I would have normally not have read a whole book on that subject, like energy. For example, I feel I have pretty darn good energy like you do, but something like that was great. Like, oh, I can still improve in my energy, or how my energy looks to others, or how important it is to others, where I wouldn't have thought of that. I'm like, I just do energy. But now I'm like, oh, I can help bring other people's energy up, how I react affects other people's energy, that's what they remember. It's different now. I wouldn't
Right.
normally have taken an energy course because I feel I already have the energy piece, figured out. But now I'm like, well, now I'm expanding my horizons. And it took, what was that whole thing? 5 minutes, you know?
4 minutes and 46 seconds.
There you go. So it's really good. We're not trying to sell you on anything other than
No.
I know Alex and my goal and my team knows honestly that we in our Momentum Builder crew and tribe is to help you be better, not
That's it.
just professionally but personally. And this is a great way to do that easily. And if we do it
Yeah.
all together, we all raise the tide, per se together, stronger together. So
Yeah.
I love the idea of helping each other raise their performance, not just their knowledge.
Yes. That's it. That's it. And listen, I told you that we're going to talk about a couple things we're trying to shatter. The other thing we're shattering is this enterprise per seat model, right? Where, oh, you have 50 people on your team? All right, put them all on there. Oh, only 3 of them used it. Yes, this month we're going to charge you for all 50 anyway. We're shattering that model. This is a library, a performance library. If you don't go and read a book in a library, you didn't use the service. Why would we charge you if you're not using the service? So this is an entire team. I'll give you a great example. I see this in corporations. A lot of big companies, the Googles, the Patagonias, the whatever of the world, they actually have gyms available in their facility. They have it there. And let's say they have 500 people working in the building, but only 100 people use the gym. It's not like the company goes and shuts down the gym, like, sorry, all of you weren't using it, so we're shutting it down. No. In software, it works that way because it's like, no, we're paying per seat and these people are literally not using it. And so we decided to shatter it and say, hey, we're like a gym, we're like a library. Okay? It's good. Let it stand in your facility. Let it be live in your facility. And as people see things that they want to keep getting better at, they'll get in there and then they'll choose to do it. And sometimes they'll go a month without reading a book, without taking a lesson, without engaging in something. That's fine. You don't get charged for that. When you come back, you'll get charged again. And so just know, it's another model that we're shattering completely because it just doesn't make sense to force people into using something they may not need right now. And that's okay.
Well, how can
But
they
it should
get
be
in then?
available. Great question. So first, Fuel, just you can go and sign up at Fuel. There's free lessons available for anyone that signs up, so you can get free lessons without any credit cards being collected or anything. So you can see for yourself a few things that are in there. And I'll put my personal email in here, and you can email me and say, hey, can you extend those free lessons for me a little bit more? And we will do that for you. At myfuel.io. So it's as easy as that. For teams, this is what, so like for everyone to know, we have a few groups right now that just signed up last week, have over 14 or 1,500 seats altogether. And every person on their team is getting an invite. They all are getting an invite. It's available for everyone, right? So it's about making it available. One of the most important things that makes professional athletes successful is access. They have access to the best trainers. They have access to the best gyms. They have access to the best psychiatrists. They have access. Right now, there's a separation of the haves and have-nots. I can't afford to pay for Todd Dunking, so I don't have. I can't afford to go see John Murphy, so I don't have. I can't afford to sit at Brian Byro's event for $1,000 seat, so I don't have. And so there keeps being a separation. Fuel's trying to democratize that and say, no, you don't need to do that. It's right now $22 to get unlimited access to this. We don't want to keep separating haves and have-nots. We want it to be, if you have the inspiration and motivation to become great, go at it nonstop. Have as much access as possible. Nobody calls Patrick Mahomes and says, hey, it's 10 o'clock. Stop working out. What are you doing? Like, get out of the gym. No, they want to work out. They want to become great. Let them be in there and do as much as they want or as little as they want. And by the way, when they do as little as they want and still not performing, that tells you something too, right? When you're not giving yourself the fuel that you need and your performance numbers aren't where they're supposed to be, that says something about where you are. And maybe the question needs to be, am I doing my best? Am I in the right place, right? You froze again, Don.